Hello crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I have a card to share with you on National Scrapbooking Day inspired by the Butterfly Reflections Ink mood board. Now while it is National Scrapbooking Day, and this is not scrapbooking, a lot of people have taken it to kind of expand it into paper crafting in general, and in honor of National Scrapbooking Day, Butterfly Reflections Ink, which is an online store, is having a sale for 20% off everything, and the code is NSD 2015. I'll leave a link to the store and then you leave the coupon code in the video description below. For today's card, I'm going to use the colors from the mood board, but I'm also going to use the ombre inspired by the grapefruit that was on the mood board, where it faded from a dark pink to a lighter pink to an orange, and then a lighter orange or a yellow color. And so I chose the Luminous Spring stamp set because it had these really great solid butterflies, which I thought I could layer and build. And then I will also be using the Uplifter stamp set from Paper Smooches, and both of these can be picked up, of course, in the Butterfly Reflections ink store. The small heart is also from Luminous Spring. And there's some balloons in the stamp set where you could do a similar thing, but I just thought the butterflies would be perfect considering that the name of the shop is Butterfly Reflections Ink. So I started by stamping the largest butterfly first, and that's what I'll do each time. I'll start with the largest butterfly, move to the medium, then to the small, and finally the heart, because that way I make sure that I get a good amount of each size thing, and filling in the largest spaces first with the large butterflies. The ink that I'm using today is Hero Art's Ombre ink, but I'm not using it as an ombre. I am just using the strips of ink that are on the pads to create solid stamping, because I wanted to show you that the Hero Arts inks are great because they allow you to get that ombre effect, but they can still be used as just regular ink pads. And so you're kind of expanding your collection of ink colors by purchasing them as well, and there's something that I was able to pick up through Butterfly Reflections ink. And I'm using the pink to red ombre and the butter to orange because I wanted the middle tone of the pink and the lighter tone of the pink, as well as the middle and lightest tone of the butter to orange as well. To create this fade effect, what I am doing is creating about, I would say maybe about a 1-inch strip of each color across the card, but I am also trying to make sure that I mix the colors together. So there are going to be some light pinks in the darker pink area, like pulling in the small butterfly in a light pink or the small heart in a light pink into the dark pink area, so it looks more like a fade and not one solid striped sort of chunk. And once I worked on the yellow and orange, I realized that if I stamped the yellow first and then the orange, I wouldn't have to worry about cleaning my stamps as much in between, although I like to use the Ranger water-based stamp cleaner, and I find that that generally was working to clean off in between colors and I wasn't getting too much of a mix. Although that's actually less noticeable in this application of color, because if you got a pinkish orange stamped butterfly, for example, it wouldn't matter as much because I am trying to get the colors to mix a little bit. And so I'm just going to continue to fill in the hearts and butterflies until everything has about an even coverage. And then I wanted to add a sentiment, but I didn't want to cover up anything that I had done so far, because I wanted the colors to all have pretty equal weight. So I decided to stamp my sentiment onto vellum. And like I said before, I'm using the Uplifters set from Paper Smooches, and it has some really great sentiments, including this one that says, "Thanks for being so awesome." And I stamp it in VersaFine Onyx Black ink, which is a sticky black ink and allows me to use clear embossing to get the effect of black embossing. I don't like black embossing powder because it tends to stick, and I find that, particularly with vellum, I even have some extra sticking. So I used a powder tool, and then when I heated the sentiment, I made sure that my gun was hot. I left it on for 30 seconds to a minute before I brought it over to the vellum because I didn't want any warping. And if you don't have your heat gun hot, sometimes that causes a little bit more warping. Then I'm going to lay this vellum panel across my butterfly panel. My butterfly panel is the largest of the stitched rectangle dies from Lawn Fawn, and then I cut my vellum strip to 1 inch by 5.5 inches, and that allowed me to have a little bit extra on the sides to fold over, and that way I didn't have to put any adhesive underneath the sentiment, but instead I could just put the adhesive behind the panel and tape down the vellum strip that way. So I'm going to mount that onto some black to pull in the black from the sentiment, and then onto a cream colored note card because the panel that I use for the butterflies is also a cream color, and it incorporates everything back in. And that's it for my card today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in more crafty videos, you can subscribe to my channel. I am going to again be sharing the link to the Butterfly Reflections ink shop, where there's going to be a 20% discount code, and I'll also leave the code down there and include some of the products that I used in today's video if you want to pick them up from the store as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.